Welcome back. So, I wanted to share how I'm planning my 40-day cruise to Asia next year, only because I was starting to get a little angsty. It's over a year away, but I was starting to get nervous because I was browsing through some of these excursions and I wasn't sure. I was surprised at the price, $200, $99, and they weren't very exciting. So, first, I'm a planner. I'll show you. I already was getting a little bit overwhelmed because of just all the stops, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I did break it out into this little spreadsheet. And then I had ChatGPT help me figure out, like, oh, is this a dock I can walk on? Is it something I have to take a port on? So I'm breaking it up into what I call micro planning. I'm gonna try not to get too off track, but basically like reading through all the reviews, and I like reading the forums on Cruise Critic, and I like reading people's experiences and watching the videos. But at the same time, it's fun to watch for entertainment. But when you're looking for information, it's too much. And there's just too much reviews and feedback on things I don't care about. I just want to know, like, if I book this thing, what to expect. Like, are they going to sell me into white slavery? Like, that's all I want to know. I don't want to hear if, the seat was uncomfortable or you didn't like the water. Anyway, trying not to do that here. Basically, I just found this way that's making it easier so far. For whatever reason, this morning I woke up and felt like I just needed to plan. So that usually means there's something else going on in my life, and planning is just self soothing. Anyway, try to stay on track, self. All right. So basically, I outlined the places that I think are of interest because like I said, it just seemed like too much. So, for example, I definitely want to do Hawaii and Japan, and then these are kind of like if I have time, if I have energy, Singapore, and then Malaysia and Thailand. So I focused on that, on like where I'd want to spend money and time and energy to plan things. So first I was like, well, I'm going on this cruise to like relax and restore. I'm fine. I'm just going to have to be fine with using the ship's excursions because that just seemed easier. So from that, I moved into, well, maybe for Hawaii. When I started looking at the prices, right? Because, okay, like I said, these prices are like $200, $300, and they're not offering me like gold plated, butterflies. It's just bus rides. So I thought, well, okay, Hawaii is a lot. There's like 5 days in Hawaii. So maybe, I speak the language, I know the country. I can probably DIY that just because the excursions weren't that exciting, I guess, for $200, $300. I wanted more. So then I thought, okay, something like Japan, I don't speak the language, I don't know the country, I don't know if I need cash, and the timing is a little bit short there, so it makes sense to just go with the short excursions that the cruise ship provides. But I was like, okay, I'm fine to spend the money for the convenience, which is one of the things that I value currently. But I'm looking at these. First of all, the Japan ones, a lot of them were in Japanese. I don't know if you can even see that here. It's gonna make a liar out of me. Um, that's the Tokyo one, but like, what was the other one? Higashima or something. Let's see. So this is off the cuff. I literally just experienced this, so this is going to be a little bit raw. Kagoshima, for example. 23 excursions, but they're in Japanese, which cool. I mean, but the ones that were in English, look, it's $230. So I'm like, okay, fine. Like, they're going to make it easy. But when I look at what you actually do, I mean, what is it that we're doing? I don't know. Going to a museum and a garden for $200? That just felt, yeah, I don't know. That didn't feel good. And I don't know, this trip I'm planning to just kind of like relax. I want to get off the boat and just walk around. I didn't have any big things I wanted to see. So if this was on my quote unquote bucket list or like high on my priority list, sure, $200, but I'm just going to go see what I want to see. So this just felt like a lot. But at the same time, I was like, well, I can't go to Japan and just stay on the ship. That's dumb. So then I started looking for like excursions that were, what did I search? And then I got lost in like watching videos and like reading all these things. And I was like, this is too much. So basically, I went to ChatGPT. What was my initial prompt? Yeah, what can I do? And that was a game changer. And it just made it so simple. I think I was able to solve it in like 30 minutes. And I just felt really good about it. And I felt excited. And so I just wanted to share that with anybody who is thinking about going and, wanting to explore more. They have some free time, they have some extra dispensable income, and just navigating this early retirement life. Like, while I also prioritize convenience, like don't sleep on ChatGPT. So this just got so easy. I got so excited. I thought I would have to spend like a year planning this, but already this morning I planned 3 mini itineraries. And the one that I was most excited about that made me want to write this video was one of the ports that we are visiting is the Okinawa one. And I had written on here, so I did, like I said, I do these micro planning things because I don't want to get overwhelmed. Nothing was really catching my eye, but I'm like mildly interested in history that has to do with that's affected the US or my life. This one was kind of that World War II history. I thought that would be interesting, but the offerings on Princess they just weren't exciting and they were expensive. So I asked ChatGPT and I was just so excited. So let me get to what I was excited about. So after, asking it a couple questions, I said I wanted something with like touches on history and then recommend any food sites, but make it kind of easy. So we'll actually be in port, let's see, for 12 hours that day. So I'm only focusing on 4 hour stints because I know I'm not going to wake up at 7 a.m. and be ready to go. And I'm not shop till you drop, but like visit till you drop. We're going to be in Japan. Anyway, so using my limitations and what I know about myself, that's the fun part about ChatGPT because you can just keep tweaking and tweaking. It gave me the weather, and then it just kind of used what I put in there as what I was interested in. So like I said, I'm focusing on food and any kind of historical touch points that I know about already. But it gave me this like beautiful itinerary, and that is what I wanted to talk about just because I'm so excited about, like, I went from being overwhelmed to excited to like, okay, I'm gonna navigate Japan by myself. And I felt comfortable with it, where before I was like, I don't speak the language, I don't know anything. But now, and a lot of it is mimicking. Oh, this is a mistake. I don't know where that is from. Is looking at what the cruise ports were offering, just to get an idea of what the options are, and then what am I going to say? And then fine tuning it to my interests and capabilities. So I wanted to do sort of just like a 4 hour day. Excuse me. I don't know. I have burps for some reason. Anyway, so yeah. So this is what it gave me for, so starting at 11, this is actually going to be a 5 hour day because it said first it was like you can do either the Peace Memorial Park or the underground headquarters. And I was like, well, I kind of want to do both. And they both sound exciting. So I my itinerary is going to start at 11. It gave me this is what I was excited about. It gave me the instructions in Japanese that I can just print this out or put it on my phone and show to the driver, which I was like, yes, because that was my main thing. Like, I don't speak the language, I don't know the culture, I don't know my way around. I get lost in the US and I speak English. So this is what made me excited. So I can say the words and I can show it to the driver. And then it just gives you tips like, I didn't copy it here, but they do say like the drivers at this port, are really, they're used to tourism at this port, so they'll know where to go even if you can just say one word. So yeah, it gives me the price, it gives me things to do, it gives me how long it's going to take, and it even tells me like if you only visit one thing, do this. I'll take it. That's better than reading 30 reviews online. And then part two, so originally it had given me either A or B, but I wanted to do both. So then it updated it, and it gave me the directions to tell the Japanese driver, which is good. It gave me how long it's going to take, how much I can expect to pay in yen and dollars. It gives me a little bit of history, which kind of whets my appetite without overwhelming me. And then it tells me, what to see, how I can make it more manageable, how long it's going to take. how much effort walking, and then keeping in mind my whole itinerary, how it where it's located in proximity to other things I want to see, which I thought was really nice. I think I was just excited that it gave me Japanese directions because that was my biggest like hurdle to overcome. And then it even tells me like how I can pay. I reordered it so I can know where to look. But yeah, so like I said, it both are easy to reach by taxi, and the cruise drivers are used to taking visitors, so they'll at least know common places, which gave me some comfort. And then it gave me places to request for lunch. This is actually the second iteration because first I was like, well, how am I going to get from, point A to point B? And I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. So you do have to play with it a little bit. I mean, if you want straight convenience, it would be easier to do Princess, which I was willing to do, but I just wasn't that excited about the itinerary. And I know I like a little bit of planning. So yeah, it gave me the directions, and it recommends like, oh, Okinawa has its own twist. It's tropical meets Japan, which I didn't know, and it gives me options. Like if I wanted the local cuisine, you have to try Okinawa soba. So I'm going to try that. I don't actually love soup or noodles, but if that's what they eat there, I'm definitely willing to try it. I'm more excited about, what did it say? You can get local fried fish. So I'm excited about that. I'm actually going to highlight that so I don't forget. I'm going to do that in yellow. So it gave me places to try for the soba. Like I said, this is like the because there was another street it had recommended, but then I was like, if I don't want to take a taxi, then I just want to keep walking. And it said to choose this one because it'd be walking downhill, and the other one was walking uphill. So I switched it out. That made me giggle. So yeah, it gave me three places to try. It gives me how to get there. I mean, as of today, I think I want to try. I'm probably going to go for number three, just because, like I said, I don't love soup or noodles. And if this is also popular in the area, then I'm willing to try it. And it does come with soup, but at least it comes with rice. And it tells me how long I have to walk. And like I said, it's downhill. They even gave me recommendations to just download the map on Google, get an offline map, and even just where I can get Wi-Fi if I need it. That just gave me a lot of comfort because all the things I was nervous about and thought like I didn't want to have to manage logistically, I was able to solve in 20 or 30 minutes with ChatGPT. So sorry if I'm talking fast. I'm just so excited. And then sushi, just because I thought, Japan, you go for sushi and you go for ramen. And then it mentioned the fruit juice, which I didn't know about. So I'm excited about that. And then after that, it just said you can just stroll down the street. Again, I put in the prompt that like I wanted a little bit of history, a little bit of nature walking and food. So that's what it recommended. And I guess this is a popular pedestrian friendly street. They call it an arcade. And then it gave me things to try. So the tropical juice, which I'm going to want to try because I like juice. And then I don't know what pineapple sweets are, but I'll look for it. And I guess these things are popular, which I would not have known or would have taken me days and days of reading to find it out. But now, like I said, just a couple of clicks. So I'm excited about that. And then, um, yeah, just then I return to port, and that's maybe like a 5 hour day, but with like very easy things to do. So not only I know the timing, I know where to go. I have it in Japanese. I have the words in English that I can try to say. I think just having the characters gives me a lot of confidence. And so that's kind of, just like a short little day. And it feels more like something I want to do, something I'm willing to pay for. And that kind of adds the adventure to it. So after kind of letting my brain turn to mush on the cruise, then I get to use it again and my legs, which as of this moment, I'm pretty excited about. And then I just had them summarize it here so I can have a little table to quickly reference. So what I'm going to do probably is just print all these out and also email it to myself. So I'll have it in two places when I go out. So it's a little bit more mental energy, but not as much mental energy as would have been required if I had to individually piece all this together. Like, where would I even get this if I, without ChatGPT? I'm talking about the instructions in Japanese. And then I asked about why I need to take a taxi because for the other two itineraries, it gave me public transit options because those were easier. But this one, yeah, it just answers the questions of like it's relatively affordable. The drivers are familiar with cruisers. The taxis are available. I asked about like something like Uber, but they said it's not as popular. And just the fact that it makes more sense to take a taxi. So I liked that. And then it gave me the fare, so I know what to expect. Even if I spend all of these in taxis, it seems like a lot. But remember, this is going to cost me like upwards of $200, and I wouldn't get to do all the things I wanted to do. And then the thing I was also concerned about, like I didn't want to have to change money. So they accept the Visa or MasterCard or the Suica. And they did advise you can set that up before you leave. So that's something I didn't know about. So I'm going to do that. But yeah, just having that information up front, and then I get to make the choice. And I mean, I'm not locked in. I didn't have to pay for this. So if by the time, November 2026 comes around and I'm like, bump that, I'm just going to go sit on a bus, I still have that. But this just got me really excited from something that was originally really angst inducing and overwhelming and starting to get pricey. This feeds into my planning brain, this feeds into my frugal brain, this feeds into my adventurous spirit, and also my convenience. Soft life energy. So again, this just summarizes it because Charles loves a summary. So I just have this here, and then I was asking like, how do I actually walk around? And he was like, well, you want to go ahead and download the map, and it also gave me another option, maps.me. And then I asked about Wi-Fi and it told me about that too. So I feel good. Like I'll be in a with Japan at least, I feel like it's modern enough that I'll be able to get help if needed. And it doesn't seem as though we'll be too far away from any of the cruise ports. And I, of course, am banking in like 3 hours on each side. So if something goes really wrong, I'll be able to get a taxi or at least find a hotel to get help. So, and then I think just seeing all the girls on the internet just out here in these streets in these Asian countries not speaking the Asian language and getting around just fine has also boosted my confidence. So I wanted to add to the choir, right? Like they can do it, I can do it, you can do it. So I just wanted to share just another way to get yourself around without depending on very pricey or undesirable uh, cruise ship excursions. All right.